Welcome to today's English listening practice session. In this lesson, you are going to improve your English listening skills, vocabulary, pronunciation, understanding, and speaking confidence. This practice is designed for English learners who want to understand spoken English more naturally and communicate more fluently in daily life. Listening is one of the most important skills in language learning. Many students study grammar for years, memorize vocabulary, and practice writing, but they still struggle to understand native speakers. Why does this happen? Because understanding spoken English requires regular listening practice. The more you listen, the more familiar English sounds become. Your ears slowly train your brain to recognize words, pronunciation patterns, and sentence structures. Today's session is not only about listening. It is also about understanding, thinking in English, and building confidence. So relax, focus carefully, and imagine you are part of each situation we discuss. Let us begin with a simple question. Why is listening difficult for many English learners? One major reason is speed. Native speakers often speak very fast. They connect words together, reduce sounds, and use natural expressions. For example, instead of saying, "What are you doing?" clearly, many speakers say, "What you're doing." This confuses learners because the spoken form sounds different from the written form. Another reason is limited vocabulary. If you do not know enough words, understanding becomes difficult. Sometimes learners understand grammar but miss the meaning because they do not recognize key vocabulary. A third reason is lack of practice. Listening is like exercising a muscle. If you practice regularly, it becomes stronger. If you avoid listening practice, improvement becomes slow. The good news is that listening skills can improve with consistency. Even 15 to 20 minutes of daily listening can create a big difference over time. Now let us move into practical listening situations. Imagine you wake up early in the morning. Your alarm rings at 6:30. You feel sleepy, but you know you must prepare for the day. You slowly get out of bed, wash your face, and head toward the kitchen. The smell of tea fills the room. Outside, the weather is cool and calm. Birds are singing, and the streets are still quiet. Your mother asks, "Are you ready for breakfast?" You reply, "Almost. I just need a few more minutes." You sit at the table and drink a warm cup of tea. Then you check your phone, read a few messages, and prepare for work or school. This is a simple daily situation, but listening practice becomes more effective when you imagine the scene clearly in your mind. Visualization helps your brain connect English words with real-life experiences. Now let us learn some useful vocabulary from this situation. Alarm means a device or sound that wakes you up. Sleepy means feeling tired and ready to sleep. Prepare means to get ready. Quiet means calm with little or no noise. Reply means to answer. Try repeating these words slowly. Alarm, sleepy, prepare, quiet, reply. Excellent. Now let us continue with another listening story. A young man named Ahmed wants to improve his English. Every day after work, he spends 1 hour practicing. First, he listens to English podcasts. Then he watches short videos with subtitles. He also writes down new vocabulary in a notebook. At first, he understands very little. Sometimes he feels frustrated because native speakers talk too quickly. But Ahmed does not quit. He continues practicing every single day. After 3 months, he notices improvement. He understands more conversations, recognizes common expressions, and speaks with greater confidence. His pronunciation also improves because he listens carefully to how words sound. One day, A tourist visits his city and asks for directions in English. Ahmed feels nervous at first, but he successfully explains the way. The tourist thanks him and smiles. That small conversation gives Ahmed a lot of confidence. He realizes that regular practice truly works. There is an important lesson in this story. Improvement does not happen overnight. Language learning is a journey. Small daily practice creates big long-term results. Now let us focus on pronunciation. Many English learners know vocabulary but pronounce words incorrectly because English spelling and pronunciation are often different. For example, the word comfortable is usually pronounced as comfortable. Vegetable often sounds like vitable. Interesting often sounds like interesting. Listening carefully helps you learn natural pronunciation patterns. Now repeat after me. Comfortable, vegetable, interesting. Very good. Let us continue with another listening passage. Sarah enters a bookstore on a rainy afternoon. She loves reading novels and learning new things. As she walks through the shelves, she notices hundreds of colorful books arranged neatly. A shopkeeper approaches her and says, "Can I help you find something?" Sarah smiles and replies, "Yes, I'm looking for a good book to improve my English." The shopkeeper thinks for a moment and then picks up a simple novel. He says, "This book is excellent for English learners because the language is easy and engaging." Sarah buys the book and starts reading it every night before bed. Slowly, her vocabulary grows stronger. She learns new expressions, sentence structures, and pronunciation patterns. Reading and listening together can greatly improve English fluency. When you read while listening to audio, your brain connects spelling with pronunciation. This method is extremely effective for language learners. Now let us discuss an important listening strategy. Do not panic when you miss a word. Many learners stop listening completely after missing one unfamiliar word. This is a mistake. Native speakers also miss words sometimes, but they continue listening and understand the overall meaning through context. Imagine someone says, "The meeting was postponed because of unexpected circumstances." Maybe you do not know the word postponed. But if you continue listening, you may still understand that the meeting changed because of some problem. Context is powerful. Another important strategy is listening for keywords. Focus on important nouns, verbs, and ideas instead of trying to understand every single word. Now let us practice with a conversational situation. Two friends are talking in a cafe. Ali says, "You look tired today. Did you sleep late last night?" Usman replies, "Yes, I stayed awake finishing a project." Ali says, "That explains it. You should get some rest." Usman laughs and says, "I know, but deadlines never wait." Notice how natural conversations include contractions and connected speech. You should often sounds like you shoulda. I stayed awake may sound connected and fast. Listening regularly helps your ears recognize these natural patterns. Now let us talk about confidence. Many learners fear making mistakes while speaking English. They worry about grammar, pronunciation, or vocabulary. But mistakes are part of learning. Every fluent speaker once struggled as a beginner. Confidence grows through action. The more you listen and speak, the more comfortable you become. Imagine a child learning to walk. The child falls many times before walking successfully. Language learning works the same way. Do not fear mistakes. Learn from them. Now let us move into another listening practice story. A university student named Hina dreams of studying abroad. She knows English is important for her future, so she decides to improve her listening skills. Every morning, she listens to English news while getting ready for class. During lunch breaks, she watches short interviews online. At night, she practices shadowing. Shadowing is a powerful technique where you repeat sentences immediately after hearing them. This improves pronunciation, rhythm, and fluency. At first, Hina finds shadowing difficult because the speakers talk quickly. But after several weeks, she notices major improvement. Her pronunciation becomes clearer, and her listening speed increases. Months later, Hina attends an online interview for a scholarship program. Because of her listening practice, she understands the interviewer easily and answers confidently. Soon after, she receives wonderful news. She wins the scholarship. This story teaches us that consistent effort can change lives. Now let us discuss another useful topic. How can you practice listening at home? First, listen to English content daily. This may include podcasts, movies, interviews, audiobooks, or YouTube videos. Second, choose material suitable for your level. If the content is too difficult, frustration increases. Start simple and gradually move toward advanced material. Third, repeat audio multiple times. The first listening helps you catch the main idea. The second listening helps you notice details. The third listening improves pronunciation awareness. Fourth, practice speaking aloud. Listening alone is not enough. Speaking reinforces what you hear. Fifth, stay patient. Improvement takes time. Now let us to another listening situation. Imagine you are traveling in another country. You enter a busy train station filled with people. Announcements echo through the building. Travelers move quickly from one platform to another. You feel slightly confused because everything sounds fast and unfamiliar. You approach an employee and ask, "Excuse me, which train goes to the city center?" The employee replies, "Take platform 5. The next train arrives in 10 minutes. You thank the employee and quickly head toward platform 5. Travel situations are excellent opportunities for listening practice because they involve real communication. Now let us learn some useful travel vocabulary. Platform means the area where passengers wait for trains. Announcement means a public spoken message. Traveler means someone who is traveling. Arrive means to reach a destination. Repeat after me. Platform. Announcement. Traveler. Arrive. Excellent work. Now let us discuss the importance of accents. English is spoken around the world, so different accents exist. American, British, Australian, Canadian, and many other accents sound different from each other. At first, different accents may feel difficult to understand. But regular exposure improves comprehension. Do not limit yourself to only one accent. Listen to a variety of speakers. This prepares your ears for real-world communication. Now let us move into a motivational section. Sometimes learners lose motivation because progress feels slow. You may practice for weeks without noticing major improvement. This is normal. Language learning often works quietly in the background. Your brain absorbs sounds, vocabulary, and patterns little by little. Then suddenly, one day, you realize you understand much more than before. Never underestimate small progress. Even understanding one new sentence today is improvement. Even learning 5 new words today is success. Every step matters. Now let us continue with another listening passage. A teacher enters the classroom and greets the students warmly. "Good morning everyone," she says. The students reply together, "Good morning teacher." The teacher writes a sentence on the board. Practice makes progress. She explains that many students wait for perfection before speaking English. But perfection comes after practice, not before it. One student raises his hand and asks, What if people laugh at my mistakes? The teacher smiles and says, every expert was once a beginner. Mistakes are proof that you are learning. The classroom becomes silent for a moment as students think deeply about her words. This lesson is important not only for English learning but for life itself. Now let us practice understanding emotions through listening. When someone speaks, tone of voice carries meaning. For example, the sentence, really, can express surprise, excitement, anger, or confusion depending on pronunciation. Listen carefully to emotions in spoken English. This improves natural understanding. Here are some examples. I can't believe it. May express shock or excitement. That's wonderful. Expresses happiness. I'm disappointed. Expresses sadness or frustration. Emotion plays a major role in communication. Now let us talk about listening habits. Successful English learners often surround themselves with English daily. They change phone settings to English, listen to English songs, watch English videos, and read English articles. This creates immersion. Immersion means surrounding yourself with the language as much as possible. Even if you live in a non-English speaking country, you can still create an English environment through technology. Now let us move into another practical conversation. A customer enters a restaurant. The waiter says, "Welcome. May I take your order?" The customer replies, "Yes, I would like grilled chicken with rice and a glass of orange juice." The waiter asks, "Would you like anything else?" The customer says, "No thank you. That's all." The waiter smiles and says, "Your order will be ready shortly." Restaurant conversations are common in daily life, so practicing them is useful. Now let us focus on an important listening challenge called connected speech. Native speakers often connect words together. For example, what do you want? May sound like, what I want. Did you eat? May sound like, did you eat? Going to often becomes gonna. These reductions are common in casual spoken English. The more you listen, the easier these patterns become. Now let us discuss concentration during listening practice. Many learners play English audio in the background while doing other activities. Passive listening can help slightly, but focused listening is much more effective. During focused listening, pay close attention to pronunciation, vocabulary, tone, and meaning. Pause audio when necessary. Repeat difficult sentences. Imitate pronunciation. Take notes of new words. Active listening creates faster improvement. Now let us continue with another motivational story. Bilal worked at a small shop in his town. Many tourists visited the area, but he felt shy speaking English. Whenever foreigners entered the shop, he avoided conversation because he feared embarrassment. One day, he decided to change. Every evening after work, he practiced listening to English dialogues online. He repeated sentences aloud and learned useful expressions for customer communication. After several months, a foreign tourist entered the shop and asked about local products. This time, Bilal confidently explained everything in English. The tourist appreciated his communication skills and even recommended the shop to others. Bilal realized that confidence grows through preparation and practice. Now let us learn another important lesson. Do not translate every sentence into your native language. Many learners mentally translate English word by word. This slows comprehension. Instead, train yourself to understand English directly. For example, when you hear apple, try imagining the fruit instead of translating the word. Thinking directly in English improves listening speed and fluency. Now let us practice with descriptive listening. Imagine standing on a beach during sunset. Waves gently crash against the shore. The sky glows with orange and pink colors. Cool wind touches your face, and seagulls fly above the water. Nearby, children laugh while building sandcastles. Some people walk slowly along the beach, enjoying the peaceful atmosphere. Descriptive listening improves imagination and vocabulary together. Now let us discuss patience. Some days your listening feels excellent. Other days it feels difficult. This is normal. Progress is not always straight. Language learning has ups and downs. The key is consistency. Even when motivation feels low, continue practicing. Small efforts repeated daily create long-term success. Now let us end with a final motivational message. English is not just a subject. It is a skill that can open doors to education, careers, travel, friendships, and opportunities around the world. Every minute you spend practicing listening brings you closer to fluency. Do not compare yourself with others. Focus on your own improvement. Celebrate small victories. Stay curious. Stay patient. Keep listening. Keep learning. One day, conversations that once felt impossible will become natural and easy for you. Thank you for joining this English listening practice session. Continue practicing daily, believe in your progress, and never stop improving. Your English journey starts with one small step, and every step you take matters.